One cultural activist is calling for a new board of the National Trust of Trinidad and Tobago to be installed to protect the history and culture of this country. President of the Artists Coalition of Trinidad and Tobago, Rubadiri Victor, spoke to C News just one day after the home of the late local dance icon Beryl Mc Burnie was demolished. Marie Hull tells us more.
When you think of the Little Carib Theatre located on White Street, Woodbrook, and its contribution to the modern arts of this country, the story of the founder, Beryl Mc Burnie, cannot go untold. While the late dancer and choreographer died in the year 2000, 16 years later, her home, located on number 34 Pancras Street in St. James, has been demolished. Culture activist and president of the Arts Coalition of Trinidad and Tobago, Rubadiri Victor, said the structure should have been preserved.
As a site, it was a sacred site. It's a sacred site for the Trinidad and Tobago arts. This is the mother of dance in the Caribbean. One of Trinidad's greatest icons. The foundation stone of theatre in the country. The person who preserved folk culture to an enormous degree, co-creative, best village, and all these different kinds of things.
The property of Miss Mc Burnie's house previously belonged to the board of the Little Carib Theatre. Mr. Victor said when the board ran into financial difficulties of maintaining both buildings, that posed a challenge. He said the last administration promised to provide the theatre and the house with $1 million, but it never materialized.
One of the things that we tried to do is that we got $1 million for the finishing of the Carib and $1 million for the house to be repaired. This is in 2013. Even did draft cabinet notes as well as budgetary notes. There were certain elements in the public service that fought that, and it never happened.
The culture activist said his issue is that the selling of the house was allegedly done secretly and called on the government to appoint a new National Trust Board to preserve and protect the culture and history of Trinidad and Tobago.
Right now, this administration has not appointed a National Trust Board or a National Museum Board. Without those boards, the entire process of listing and protecting buildings has ground to a halt. Almost a halt. And that needs to be done. The other thing that needs to be done is a heritage fund needs to be set up to empower the heritage, the National Trust more.
Mr. Victor admits the property in St. James was in need of a major upgrade. Reports say the new owner planned to build a new home by 2017. Marie Hall, C News.
And architect Rudilyn Defoe Roberts said it is the responsibility to protect historical sites, and it should not only be placed on the government, and call on citizens to work together to preserve the heritage of Trinidad and Tobago.
It is an awareness that has to become part of the way we live, and people have to be willing to go the extra mile and do the extra work that is required, either through donations, companies must donate and whatnot to help this cause.